So I guess in summary, my hunger has been up and down all week. I've had the real food ick for different things that I've been eating, and the mega suppression has been unbelievably strong. So yeah, where did that come from? Welcome to week 57 of my Mounjaro journey. I am on a weight loss quest to lose £100. As of last week, I had reached 88.8 pounds lost, so I was only 11.2 pounds away from my £100 target. So I'm currently on 10 milligrams of Mounjaro, and I do split dose. So I'm taking on a Thursday and a Sunday 5 milligrams on each day, rather than taking 10 milligrams all at once. So I've had a bit of a funny old week. The hunger suppression has been quite strong this week, or quite strong since Thursday, not the whole week actually. So Wednesday, for example, I had KFC. I haven't had a KFC for quite a long time because the last time I did, I felt so sick. It was just a horrendous experience. But this week I was running around, I was busy, and I knew I wasn't going to be home for dinner for another 90 minutes, 2 hours. And I hadn't really eaten that much, so I thought, I'm going to get a KFC. And I did, and I enjoyed it. But it was really weird because I was kind of in the KFC. I went in and I sat down, and I had this weird sensation, and I didn't know really what was going on for a second. Do you know what it was? I felt guilty, and how I used to feel when I went into a bit of shame. I don't know. It was quite bizarre. But then I was like, I've got no reason to feel guilty. I haven't eaten very much today, and I need dinner, so I'm here. I didn't have a big one. I had a mega box, which is one piece of chicken finger, one chicken leg, 2 wings, and some fries and gravy. So it wasn't a big thing, but I didn't finish it. So yeah, it was weird sitting in there and having the old guilt that I used to have when I used to go in there, but nothing to be guilty about. It's just food. And that's what I'm starting to realise. The longer I go on, food is just food. And we attach all of these emotions, meanings, shame, whatever it is you do, to these foods. And we need to let that go, maybe. If you're new here and this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Ginger, and this is my channel, Ginger Goes GLP-1. On these weekly weigh-in updates, I tend to go over my week, how things have been sort of in relation to mood, hunger, cravings, calories, side effects, exercise, non-scale victories, goals, all those kind of things, just to give you a touch base on what I've been doing. So this week's been a bit of a funny old week, really. Not going to lie, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have had a shocking week in terms of my mood. Seasonal affective disorder usually hits me sort of mid-September to October time, and it came in with a force. I did mention it last week, but yeah, this week I have not had a good week. I'm rallying today because I don't want to put you through the misery of seeing me when I'm sort of blue and sad and everything, but yeah, it's been not the best week. But yeah, we live to fight another day. And that's the whole thing with seasonal affective disorder, is that I try and stay on top of it. I have a sad lamp that I use. Last year, the Mounjaro helped me stay on top of that. I think it was the enthusiasm of starting Mounjaro, and maybe it did help balance my hormones or regulate my neurotransmitters. I don't know. But yeah, this year it isn't having that same effect. So this week has been a real tearful struggle. That's one of the things that I notice, is that I'm tearful for no reason. And I don't have a reason to be tearful at the moment, but it's been a week, and we'll leave it at that. Hunger. So my hunger's been really, really up and down this week. I have had, since Thursday, I've had this mega suppression going on. Prior to that, I would say I was having hungry days. Don't know what happened with my jab on Thursday, but since Thursday, I have been really, really mega suppression. And a lot of food that I'm eating has given me the ick. Like my morning protein coffee, which I look forward to so much every day. I'm drinking like half of it, and then I'm getting a real strong ick. Can't finish it. What did I make the other day? Even my chicken soup the other day, which I relish every time I eat it. If you haven't seen my chicken soup, the recipe is up. Please do leave me a thumbs up or an emoji. That soup recipe is tanking my channel. But yeah, even my chicken soup, I was just like, I got about halfway through it and I was like, oh, I just can't face this. And I'm kind of all over the place. Like eggs have given me the ick. Anything I'm eating, I get halfway through and I don't even know if it's suppression. I am feeling full and I am probably feeling some suppression, but I've got more of the ick. That's the only way I can describe it than anything else. And it seems to be the majority of things I'm eating at the moment. So I don't know if I've got like maybe a mild tummy bug or something. I don't know, but it was it's been funny since Thursday. So what I'm doing is tomorrow, Sunday, I'm due to take another jab, 5 milligrams, and I'm not going to do that because I think I need to maybe let my hunger build up a little bit this week. I don't know. So maybe I'm just going to give tomorrow a swerve, jab-wise, and then see how I feel Monday or Tuesday, and decide whether I take a jab then or I try and eke it out until Thursday, which would be the next time I'm due to take my 5 milligrams. I've said it many times, but I'm a hyper responder, so I split my dose, my 10 milligram dose over the week. But yeah, for some reason this week it's just really strong. I don't know why, because I was at a place where I was quite balanced and I was feeling really good. That I was a little bit hungrier every day, so I was able to eat without those major days. I said it last week, But yeah, so for some reason since Thursday, it's just been unmanageable, I would say, almost. Cravings, well, like I said, I had KFC the other day, so that's a craving buster. It was Halloween last night, so I didn't crave the candy, but it was there, and I had 2 or 3 like chewy candies, and then I had one little really miniature like chocolate, like it was a Mars bar type thing, but like one of the minis. I can't think what they're called, bite size, I think they're called. And that was fine. And that didn't give me the ick. So it's unusual because I'm not really a sweet tooth person. I tend to crave more salty treats and like peanuts and pate and crisps and things like that. So it was unusual for me to crave, or not to crave sweet, but to eat sweet things when they're there. It was a very quiet Halloween. I don't know about anybody else. So I've got tons and tons of candy, which I'm going to donate to the kids across the road. So there's a bunch of kids that live across the road. So I'm going to give it to them. They'll enjoy it. But yeah, it was different than last year because last year I was terrified on Halloween that I was going to eat all of the chocolate and all of the thing. So I only bought stuff I didn't like last year, which is quite funny. But yeah, because I was worried that if there was anything left over, I would eat it. I didn't. I ended up taking it into the office and they kind of like took care of it in there. But last night I indulged. I had a couple of pieces and that was enough. I don't want to do it today. But funny, it didn't give me the ick. Anyway, side effects, like I said, the ick and the mega suppression are probably the majority of the side effects I've had this week. I have still got this ongoing issue with my ear. I'm due to see the doctor on Tuesday of this week, just because it's gone on for so long now. And like I said, I am having that. Whoever told me, was it pulsatile tinnitus? whoever told me that, I did look it up, and that's exactly what it felt like. So when I see the doctor, I am going to mention that, the pulsatile tinnitus and the, what is it, patulous eustachian dysfunction, because it's probably somewhere in line with both of those. But yeah, because it's been ongoing now for so long, it is getting better, I think. But like I said, this new pulsing, whooshing in my ears. My ear, it's not even my ears, it's just my left ear. That's the one that's really getting to me. So yeah, so we'll see what the doctor says, and I will let you know what he says. Sleep. As you know, I've struggled since the beginning with my sleep. I have found, I think, a new balance with my sleep. I am always waking up at least once in the night. I think I've had 2, maybe 3 full nights sleep uninterrupted since I started on Mounjaro. But yeah, I've reached a good place now. I'm probably oversleeping now because of my seasonal affective disorder. I am going to bed really quite early, and I am getting up at the last possible moment I can get out of bed to get on with my day. But that's how it is some winters for me, and I've just got to roll with it at the moment. I don't have the capacity, the strength, the wherewithal, the resolve, whatever, to try and deal with it at the moment. So I'm just taking it easy. I'm cutting myself some slack. I'm giving myself grace. And like I said, I'm trying to stay on top of it with my sad lamp, getting out for walks, being out in daylight whenever I can, just to try and get on top of this. But we'll see where we go from here. Exercise. Like I said, I've been out for a couple of walks. I went out for a walk with a colleague last Sunday, which was really nice. We went on a mushroom forage. We don't ever, ever, ever take anything home. We literally go and look at them because I'm quite good with mushrooms. I can identify quite a lot of them. I will never eat anything I can identify because there are some dangerous lookalikes, and I'm never, ever 100% certain. The only ones I am certain about are the fly agarics, the red ones with the white spots. And obviously, you don't eat those, or if you do, they are an entity unto themselves. But yeah, so we never eat any of them. We just go looking at them and photograph them, and that was really good. And we did 6 or 7 miles that day, which was good and really helped. It was nice to have somebody. She works in mental health, so we had a good old chat about mental health and seasonal affective disorder and everything I need to do. I am doing everything I need to do. It's this year's a bad one. Yeah, so it was really nice to meet up with a friendly face and just have a little bit of a mushroom forest. Gosh, we should have gone last week because it was carpeted with the fly agarics, the red ones. Well, not just the red ones, it was the amanita. Anything in the amanita family is like the fly agarics. But yeah, there were loads of different ones. There were orange ones, there were brown ones. They're all part of the amanita, but they were just kind of like dying. But when I say there was maybe 2,000 mushrooms that we saw, I don't think that would be an underestimate. I mean, they were everywhere. But it was like I said, we were a week late. If we'd have gone last week, it would have been absolutely amazing, spectacular, because we couldn't walk. They were carpeted all over the place. But yeah, there was one like nice fresh fly agaric, Amanita muscaria. Do we see? But yeah, but like I said, I will never eat a mushroom, even if I'm 99.9% certain, just because of that fear of, well, dying, really. Yeah, I've done a few bounces as well. Speaking of exercise, I've done a few bounces. I've got one of those mini trampolines, and that always makes me feel good. Obviously, it's good for lymph drainage and things like that. I haven't been to the gym. Like I said, this is all part of I need to find a balance between pushing myself and taking it easy, because I can quite easily hit overwhelm when I'm like this. So I'm mindful of that. But yeah, non-scale victories. I can't really think of anything major this week that I'm calling a non-scale victory. Like I said, it's just been a bit of a quiet week for me, kind of huddled down and keeping myself to myself this week. So yeah, so no non-scale victories this week, but we'll have some for next week, hopefully. Goals, as you know, I've got into the 150s as of last week. That was one of my goals ticked off. I want to reach the 90-pound weight loss target. Like I said, that's my next goal in between now and 100 pounds. And I want to get into the tens. So in the UK, the 10 stone bracket. So last week I was 11 stone 5. So I'm still a little way away from getting into that 10 stone bracket. But those are the goals that I'm kind of aiming for at the moment. Getting on to my weight, I forgot to mention last week that on the Renfo app, obviously it shows you like a scale of where you are on sort of like your weight and body fat and things like that. And I'm now in the green zone for weight. Even though I'm not at my goal weight, I've gone into the green zone. And last week my BMI was 24.8. So that's within the healthy range as well, which is really great. And I've lost to date 36% of my starting body weight, which I think is quite huge, really. Well, my weight was quite huge. But yeah, so 36%, that's way over and above what they project that Mounjaro will help you lose. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So all of that considered, how have I done weight loss wise this week? Well, last week, I weighed in at 159 exactly. So I got into the 150s. So last week, my weights were pounds, I weighed 159. Stone, I was 11 stone 5. Kilos, I was 72 kilos. So last week, I lost 2 pounds in total. This week, my weight is 158, 11 stone 4, or 71.6 kilos. So I've lost 1 pound or half a kilo. And I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, especially so late into my journey. Last week I was a little bit freaked out that I'd lost 2 pounds because I didn't know where that had come from. But 1 pound seems about reasonable for this week. I wasn't even expecting that after 2 pounds last week. But yeah, so like I said, it's been a bit of a funny old week, food-wise and suppression-wise. So I am going to skip my jab tomorrow, unless I wake up really hungry tomorrow. If I wake up really hungry tomorrow, I will try and eat, and then I'll kind of see whether I adjust my dose during the day or if I decide to leave it till the Monday. But yeah, I don't want to go through. I don't want to go through another week like that. I do want to fuel my body, especially with my mood kind of being a bit all over the place. I want to try and make sure I'm staying on top of everything. So I've got a plan this week to try and make some oxtail soup. I do love my chicken soup and I am going to continue to eat it. But yeah, I do fancy some oxtail soup, just something a little bit different. So I'm on my way out to the store to see if I can find some oxtails that I can do that. So yeah, that's my roundup for week 57. It's been a bit of a low-key week, if I'm going to be honest. And I don't know what next week's going to be like. It might be low-key. I might start to feel a bit brighter. Like I said, if you are struggling with anything like seasonal affective disorder, you really do have to push yourself and sort of do everything within your powers to try and get on top of it. Daylight or a sad lamp is the best way that you can get around that. Everyone gets the winter blues. Seasonal affective disorder is just a little bit further on the spectrum of that. And like I said, I can just get a bit tearful and weepy for absolutely no reason at all. So that's my roundup. I will be back on Wednesday for one of my midweek musings. If you do like this video, please do think about giving me the thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. It does help the channel and the algorithm. So yeah, I'll leave it there. If you've got any queries, comments, if you're struggling yourself, if you've had any observations about Mounjaro, or you get these mega suppression weeks or low hunger weeks, or even if you're the opposite and you're absolutely starving on Mounjaro, leave a comment, let us know, and yeah, we'll get back to you. But thanks very much, and I will catch you again on Wednesday. Take care. Bye bye.